Welcome to Let's Get Metaphysical, the show that stretches you beyond your five senses. When you are looking for your next step on the path into the unseen, we've got you covered. Join epic adventure seekers and level up your game with your host, reality magician, Allie Bierman.
Greetings, epic adventure seekers. Welcome to your guide to demystifying your world. I'm Allie Bierman, and you are listening to Let's Get Metaphysical, a show connecting heart and mind. If you've not yet done so, please rate and review our show. Someone you know is looking to explore their spirituality. Share with a quick note about what you like and who you think will like it, and make sure your friend sees that too. Today's review comes from Justin at Rental Secrets. He writes, reflective break in a busy day. Let's Get Metaphysical helps the listener slow down and think about the energy they choose to bring to their daily challenges. It's a welcome moment of reflective calm in a world that seems to spin a little faster each day. Take a breath. Thank you, Justin. We can all use a breath and a moment to take a break. Today's guest, Troika Saint Germain, wears many hats, or maybe I should say faces. You will be sitting on the edge of your seat to catch it all today. But first, I have a quick question. How would you like some guidance on your first steps on your spiritual path? I created a special gift for you. It's called Step in a New Direction, and it's a very simple one-page download to take you on your new journey with some guidance. The link for that is in the show notes. Now to our guest. Troika Saint Germain is a spiritual accelerator and transformational alchemist who's able to advance people to their next level of spiritual development by raising their frequency. She receives powerful activations from the higher realms. She was born with a remembrance and connection to the divine and is able to consciously visit the higher realms and communicate with angels and ascended masters beginning in childhood. She was gifted with several paranormal abilities. At age 10, she drowned in the ocean while body surfing. Coming back into her body, ended her magical life, starting her quest to learn more about life and spirituality. As a spiritual seeker, she uncovers every stone to find the truth. Aptly born in the city of the angels, Troika moved to Mount Shasta in 1992 and lives in a magical geodesic dome with her beloved angels in dog suits, canine companions. A person of many loves and talents, Troika's artistic work includes graphic design, interior design, web design, set design for stage productions in the United States and Japan, as well as photography, cosmetology, and makeup artistry, florist, actress, radio personality, journalist, and published author and playwright. She shares her knowledge in various ways, including workshops, webinars, retreats in Mount Shasta, and Living the Ascension Podcast, to which I subscribe and discover some pretty interesting and sometimes new to me info and realities. Where to begin our adventure today? Welcome, Troika Saint Germain.
Hi, Ollie. How are you? It's wonderful to be here. Thank you for asking me to be on your podcast.
I'm very excited to chat with you because I'm not as well versed in your realm as you are, which is why you're here.
Well, I've been doing it my whole life, so I've had lots of practice and lots of time to delve into everything.
Everything is well put. I thought I did everything. Well, let me ask, after such a diverse career path, how did you settle in and focus on spirituality in all its realms? And I mean that literally.
Well, yes, I've had a multifaceted, I've even done more stuff than you even read. Like I worked for the government for a while. I was a social worker. I was a probation officer. I mean, I've done a lot of things that Spirit just kind of led me to, and I never really sought out to do. The only thing I sought out to do in the very beginning was I wanted to be a makeup artist for motion pictures. I love doing fantasy makeup and all of that. So I went to cosmetology school to get a license so I could do that. And at that time, the union was closed to women. And so I couldn't do that.
Whoa.
And this was, long time. This was before civil rights kicked in. So I'm really old and been through a lot. But anyway, being that from the time I was born, even after my death, when my abilities waned, I've always been interested in spirituality and metaphysics and the higher realms. And I've always lived my life for a higher purpose than third dimensional reality. So in all of those jobs that I've had, every single one of them, my intention and my focus was always metaphysical or spiritual, regardless of what I was doing. I firmly believe, and this is something that I really want the listeners to know, is that there's no such thing as a spiritual job. You don't have to be a massage therapist or a Reiki master to have a spiritual job. It's not what you do, it's how you do it that makes it spiritual. So, but to further how I got into the very public work that I do now metaphysically, it was just a progression of my growth and the urging of my ascended master friends who kind of pushed me to go public. When I was a graphic designer and web designer, which both of those I did for a very long time, all of my clients were spiritual teachers and gurus and healers and stuff. And so I looked at my work to help them get their message out as my spiritual work. I enjoyed being behind the scenes. And Saint Germain in particular kind of kept pushing me and nudging me and encouraging me to go public. And finally, around 2000, I said, okay, and started to go public. And the rest is, all laid out, in my websites and my podcast and, how that all transpired.
Well, I listen to your podcast and I listen to many of your Create the Earth calls listed on your website. And the content may be new. In fact, I'm pretty sure it'll be new to many of our epic adventure seekers. Would you please share what you do and why you do what you do on those calls? What does it mean for the world, for the population, for the whole everything?
So those calls are just a tiny fraction of what I offer to people. And it's a free monthly call where people that have kind of been around me and have either taken a class or a workshop or a private session where I go into great detail about how to go into your heart. If you listen to those, I always direct people, we go into our heart to the sacred chamber of our heart, which is an interdimensional portal and where your divine flame resides. We all hear that God is in our heart, and that's what that flame is, and that's where it is. So first, I teach people how to go there and how to work with that. On those calls, what we are doing is we are envisioning the earth and humanity and the animal kingdom and the nature kingdom, all aspects of life. We are envisioning it in the highest perfection that we wish to live in. Our thoughts and our vision and our imagination is how we create our life. And everybody does this, whether they know about it or not. People that are not on a spiritual path, they're creating their life. I mean, the people that have what I call soap opera lives, with, too many boyfriends or girlfriends that bring a little problem in and out of their life, or they can't keep a job, or, they have an addiction problem or whatever, people that do that, they have created that for themselves through their thoughts and their beliefs and what they envision for themselves, whether it's positive or negative. So when you know consciously how to do that, you can create a higher, better, more harmonious, more spiritual life for yourself that affects everything, material, emotional, spiritual, mental, environmental, whatever. So we as a group go in and envision the new world that we are moving into through the process called Ascension. It's the fifth dimension. Some people call it the golden age, the age of Aquarius, the seventh ray. There's different names for it. It's all pretty much the same thing. So we're creating consciously our future. And that's what we do on those calls.
Well, one thing that I guess it was striking to me was you closed the call with healing circles. And as a metaphysical minister, I used to do a healing circle very many years ago. I did it differently from the way you do it. The way I did it was a lot of work, and it was more than I could deal with. And I love the way you do it. It's powerful. It's clear to everybody what they're doing. So I'm recommending that you guys go to Troika's website and get on at least one of those calls to see what might be there for you. Some of the processes that I started doing, 30, 40 and more years ago were a lot more complicated. It's our third dimensional human nature to think that anything worth having has got to be hard and complicated and complex and difficult. We're taught that, and that is so far from the truth. God is easy. Spirit working with energy and healing and raising your vibration and frequency and all of that is very simple. We just need to get out of the way and do the basics. So it's been a progression in my life to figure out how to do things more easily and simple. And as a teacher, I consider my main function being a teacher, how to teach people the easy way that they can follow. And so that's why my healing right now, the way I do the healing circle is easy. I also do more complex healing circles when I'm doing just a healing circle call. We spend more time. We put each person individually into the healing circle and work on them and then move on to the next person. And in private sessions, then it's directed totally to that one person and their individual needs at the time. So, there's all roads lead to Rome, and I like the freeway, the shortcut rather than the meandering long way. Oh boy. Thank you for saying all that, because that's a lesson I need to continually be reminded about, because I keep making it harder than it needs to be. And I know darn well, because I've been there, that easy, everything flows.
Right.
But I keep putting up obstacles. Good reminders. Thank you, universe, for putting people on my path to remind me of that.
Well, and another thing that you mentioned, obstacles, another thing that is one of the main components of I'm a minister too. I just don't talk about it. But my work, which is kind of like a ministry in a lot of ways, is teaching people about the violet flame, which transmutes lower energy into higher level of energy, and it is a obstacle buster. So there's all kinds of information about the violet flame on my website. And the great thing about the violet flame, it is totally free and anybody can do it. And you don't even have to believe in it for it to work. You'll develop belief through the results that you get. And it is the most effective, dramatic tool of transformation that I have ever worked with in my life.
It is really cool because I'm constantly reading or listening to books. And what I have learned in the last few weeks with where I'm focusing is plants are so superior to people in their knowledge and their ability to do and transmute things. And you're saying that a person with the violet flame can transmute their energy, their frequency. And I knew about the violet flame, but I hadn't really studied it. So I'm definitely going to go take another look at that. So thank you for saying that.
Yeah. And another thing with the violet flame is, it was kind of introduced, it was very widely used in the days of Atlantis. Mm-hmm. And in fact, in those days, you could physically see the violet flame. Now, our personal frequency and the development of our physical body cannot see the violet flame. It's just beyond our physical spectrum of light. But it was first introduced in a very kind of religious, almost cult type of way. And fortunately, not too many people found out about it back then, because the people that did, they have a lot of thoughts and a lot of baggage over the violet flame that is totally unnecessary. It's a tool of transformation. You don't have to have a certain religious connotation to it. You can be, a Christian, Jewish, Muslim, atheist, doesn't matter. It's a tool, just like a hammer. A hammer is, its function is to drive a nail into the piece of wood. It doesn't care who you are or how old you are or what you think about the hammer. It works for everybody. And the violet flame is that way. So the way I introduce the violet flame to people is stripped of any kind of religious connotation. And my website, the invocation, does mention, the I am presence and the higher self and things like that. But you don't even need that. I'm in the process of writing a very simple book about the violet flame that even non-spiritual people that haven't been exposed to metaphysical principles, they can understand it and use it. Because again, it is simple. And so that's one of my missions, my life missions, is to educate or introduce the violet flame to as many people as I can, because it is so incredible. And it's a very high frequency energy that lifts your vibration and transforms your negative energy into higher energy. And you can work with it for physical problems, diseases or illnesses, financial problems, relationship problems. I mean, just anything in your life, the violet flame can help restructure and purify and amplify, the good aspects of whatever you want to do.
So tell us about the multiple inroads into a person's spiritual development that you use, because you're a person with many skills and talents and methods.
Okay, well, I talked about the violet flame. That's where I start people with, is how to use the violet flame and how to start using it. And my message and my mission is to show people that they already are a divine being. We just have some, what I call third dimensional residue covering up our divinity. And the violet flame can help cleanse that residue. But also there are other ways to advance yourself spiritually. It all kind of boils down to vibration and frequency. And again, this is a journey from what I believed in, maybe 50 years ago to where I am now. My life has always been a progression, because you don't know what you don't know until you learn it or it's introduced to you. So things that I thought I knew, 50 or 40 years ago, now I have a whole different perspective of, and I've learned it in a different way. So my work is constantly progressing. And where it is right now is I work a lot with color and with sound, because both of those are pure energy. They're pure frequency. And there's no misinterpretation, with a lot of these spiritual paths. People understand words based on their own filters of what those words mean to them and what concepts mean to them. And it's something that we all share when we're hearing about something new, or we're trying to study a new way. Like, say you want to learn about Hinduism, or you want to learn about working with ascended masters or whatever. We all have that thought of, am I getting this right? Am I understanding this correctly? And that brings up a lot of apprehension and anxiety in people and kind of blocks their movement. Color and sound are pure energy. They're pure frequency. Everything in the universe, from the air to us, to animals, to nature, all the way down to rocks, and what we consider inanimate objects like a table or a chair, everything has a frequency or vibration. It's all the same energy. There's no difference between a table and me except the rate of vibration. And vibration is akin also to consciousness and to expanding. When you raise your frequency, you automatically expand your consciousness, and vice versa. So there's no misunderstanding of blue. And there's thousands of shades of blue, and they all have their own separate frequency. So if you're working, and they all mean different things, like blue is harmony, and it's God's will, and it's the divine masculine, and it's peace, and it's power, and it's so many different aspects of the totality. And the different shade of blue makes the focus on what part of that vastness of blue you want to work with. And pink is like unconditional love and Christ consciousness kind of love and all. And metallic gold is the Christ consciousness frequency. So, work with color, and every color has a sound, and every sound likewise has a color. So I work a lot with crystal bowls and tuning forks, for the sound aspect. The color we work through visualization, and even down to the point of wearing certain colors that you decide. Maybe, well, here's a little secret. If you're low in energy and, you woke up late or you didn't get that much sleep and you just are kind of, dragging your butt and you've got someplace special to go and you really want to be energetic, wear red shoes. The red is very enlivening and passionate and a lot of physical energy, and putting them on your feet, you're walking to your destination surrounded with this red frequency. It will wake you up. It will make you more animated and stuff. It's great for job interviews. Wear red shoes. And if you don't want to physically show red, like especially gentlemen, wearing red shoes to a job interview. If you're working, it depends on the job, it might be a benefit to wear red shoes for certain kinds of jobs, but, working in a corporate office, probably not so much. But you can wear red hidden, wear red underwear, red, somewhere underneath your clothes next to your body. That will help too. So that's a very tiny little thing of working with color. The higher way of working with it is with intention and with imagination and visualization and learning to recognize that frequency and call it into you. So I work a lot with color and sound because, like I said, there's no feeling of, am I getting this right? I mean, you look at a certain color, that vibration of that color is going to affect you, whether you're conscious of it or not. But if you're conscious of it and you work with intention, it magnifies the benefit that color can bring to you.
I love that. I love red. I've got red curtains everywhere in my home. I'm wearing red now. On my whole Thrive, Don't Just Survive, my book, everything is red. And I just feel good. And like you said, I feel really alive.
I didn't know that about you. I guess I just said red for my higher self told me to talk about red.
Most of my life, my favorite color was white. I went from white to red.
Oh.
So I know that you have a number of alchemical products and you use those for transformation. And definitely want to ask you about that. First, I want to take just a quick sponsor break. Would you, my epic adventure seekers, like to get some tender, loving care from me? I've been working on creating the ALITLC for Tender Loving Care Club, and I expect to release next week. The link to sign up for the opening date, the notification list, is in the show notes. And now, Troika, please let's get back. And I want to hear about all these products because I think alchemy it isn't a nonsense word, and people who know how to do it. And you're one of the people who know how to do it. So please fill us in.
Okay. Yeah. I meant to mention that some of the hats that I wear and the ways that I help people is through these alchemical products. My main guide is Ascended Master Saint Germain, and he is also considered the master alchemist. And for people that don't know about Saint Germain, all ascended masters were people just like us that lived here on planet Earth. And they, through raising their frequency and vibration and mastering, I'm putting little air quotes around the word mastering, they mastered themselves. They mastered their lower vibrations. They mastered situations and problems in life. And that's what mastery means. You're able to master things. And he worked a lot with alchemy. And he created products back in the he stayed in the same body for over 300 years and never aged and was known as the Wonder Man of Europe. And he could bilocate and he could time travel and he could do all kinds of amazing things, all of which we will be able to do too eventually when we raise our frequency to that level. He was the main one that pushed me to go public with my knowledge and to present things to the world as I do now. And in 2003, he asked me to start creating these products as an extension of the products he created 400 and 500 years ago. So I really don't take any credit for them. He was the impetus behind them, and he's the one that gives me the formulas. So the first thing we created was a skin cream. The second product he gave me was what I call the elixir of life, or just plain the elixir. And it was what he created for himself way back then and drank on a daily basis. And he would give a little bottle of it to many friends and acquaintances, and they would transform, radically by ingesting it. It's sort of, people might know about Bach flowers. It's kind of the same principle as Bach flowers, where he gave me a formula of herbs and flowers and some minerals and told me how to mix them together in what proportions and to make it as a tea. And I started drinking the tea, which, by the way, tastes terrible. And although through repetition, I learned to like the taste. And I tested it on myself for about a year. And then I saw results. And so he said, okay, you can offer it to the public. And I said, but how? I can't. They have to drink an ounce of tea every single day. That would be 30 ounces a month. And I would have to put preservatives in it. And I would have to reveal the formula. And there could be allergy issues with some of the herbs, and kind of boggled my mind. And he says to me, as I'm saying, well, how do I do it? And blah, blah, and stuff. He goes, you make it as an essence, a vibrational essence, to which I did the palm to forehead. Oh my God, of course, because 25 years earlier, I was making gem essences that were way ahead of their time and nobody could understand them or bought them. And so I knew how to do that process. So I started making the elixir as a vibrational essence, like similar to Bach flowers. And I found 100 people throughout the United States that did not know me that would just test this and see if they got results. And I did not lead them by questions into anything. My questions were very simple. Do you feel any difference? Do you feel anything physically? Do you feel anything emotionally? Do you feel, so they just did their own answers because I wanted to know the truth. I didn't want to direct them to. So I got really great results, all different, very unique and individual to each person, but results. So I said, okay, I'll start selling this. And from that product grew other products. They have sprays. People think it's aromatherapy because they do smell very nice, but it's not the fragrance of these individual sprays. I call them trans scents, trans for transformational and scents because, they do smell well. You spray them around you or in your room or in your car or, wherever you want to change the frequency and vibration of that area. And they're temporary, frequency is always changing, but, you can like spray your bed when you go to bed and sleep in that vibration, or a lot of healers that chiropractors and massage therapists and stuff use it to spray the room and the table in between clients, kind of clear out the energy of the client before and set the stage for the new client coming in. And those, again, they're combinations of essential oils and gemstones, gem elixirs. And it's the combination of the individual units that create the frequency. It's not the fragrance. And then we've got gem essences, which are just what they sound like. They're different gemstone essences.
That was extremely interesting to me. I have done some gem essences myself years ago, but I didn't have the understanding you do. And I'll be listening to this again myself. And I'm glad that I have your podcast to listen to and all the things on your website to study. What do people come to you looking for, and what's the best way for them to find you?
Most people find me through word of mouth, through a friend, that is into this kind of stuff, and they'll be into this and want to learn more. So it's word of mouth a lot, but also people find me on the internet in very strange ways. I've had so many people tell me these really outrageous, bizarre stories that I know that they're true and that this stuff happens. The internet is a reality and a world of frequency. And it can be, like all frequency, can be manipulated and changed. I have had people put into a search engine something so far away from me and what I teach, like local hardware store, and they get my website. My website comes up. Or they'll click on a link to, again, something totally different, dog food or something, and my website comes up. That is spirit. That means that person is ready for what I teach and ready for their next step. And, they say when the student is ready, the teacher appears. So I'm not doing this. Third dimensional Troika is not doing this. Spirit's doing it. I suspect it's Saint Germain, sending people to me and all. And so there's various ways that people find me. That was, initially, in recent years, I've done interviews, similar to this, and teleseminars with a lot of people. And I've done expos and, fairs and places where I'm there in person with products. And people just come to me from a whole bunch of different roads and paths.
You said that you had a gift for our audience.
Yes, I would love to send people a invocation to Archangel Michael. That it's an MP3 where I'm invoking Archangel Michael to do healing. Well, not so much healing, although everything in essence really is healing, but to cut cords, negative cords. We all get corded by people, places, and things. And he cuts the cords and he seals them so that a cord cannot be replaced again on that spot. And he cleans up negative energies. He can remove entities. It's sort of like, an exorcism, very gentle and very uplifting. And we also ask him to give each person doing this 6 centurion angels. And centurion angels are those big, huge bodyguard angels. They're really kick-ass angels that, form around you, the front and the back and each side and above and below, and are protectors, So it's a simple invocation. It doesn't take very long. And you can listen to my voice and just follow along with it, with your intention. And it happens to you as you do that. If you listen to it enough times, you will learn how to do it yourself, and you don't need me to do it. So we all can use that. And I would like to avail that to people. And all they have to do is go to I've got a special page for the gift.
And the link will be in the show notes. So as we're getting ready to close, I wondered if you imparted so much wisdom today and love. And I wondered if there's a particular message you want to leave with everyone.
Yes. I want everyone to know that they are divine. They are, Christians would say, a child of God. A less religious way would be that there is a oneness to the universe, and the highest aspect of that universe that holds everything together and created everything is the top of the apex frequency-wise. Some people would call it God, or the all that is, or the oneness. We are all part of that. We are literally a cell within that body of everything. And we have total access and total right to access everything and anything within the universe. It's all within yourself. I really don't teach anybody anything. I show them how to bring out what's already within you. One of my favorite quotes is from Galileo. It says, "You cannot teach a man anything. You can only help him to find it within himself." And what we have inside ourselves is the entire universe. We have heaven. We have enlightenment. We have everything already within ourselves. And we are multidimensional beings that live many lifetimes simultaneously. And you can access and be anything and everything that you wish to be. That's my main message. And we can all ascend, and we can all create the life that we want.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that truth with all of us today. So my listeners, be sure you get on the notification list for ALITLC.club and join our free Facebook group. Visit our website where you'll be able to specifically listen to this episode. By the way, this is episode 20, so we are moving along. And we'll also have all available websites there. You can follow me on Instagram at Thrive with Allie, and on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. All of the links will be in the show notes. Enjoy the rest of your day.
You've been listening to a talk on the wilder side. Thanks for tuning in to Let's Get Metaphysical. Be sure to subscribe so that you don't miss a single episode, and while you're at it, please leave a rating and review, and be sure to share it with your friends. Tune in every Monday for more exciting insights and wisdom on life beyond your five senses. Until next time, take a small step in a new direction. Start now.